What if I told you the world's biggest heist wasn't pulled off by a gangster or a hacker or even a politician, but by a soft-spoken party boy who turned deception into an art form? A man who bought yachts bigger than most hotels, dated Hollywood celebrities, threw million-dollar champagne parties, and then disappeared into thin air. This is the forbidden story of Jho Low, the mastermind behind the 1MDB scandal. A scandal so massive it shook governments, toppled prime ministers, and nearly brought down the global banking system. And the craziest part? He's still free, living under the protection of a superpower. Because behind this billionaire ghost lies a secret far bigger than money. To understand how Jho Low fooled the world, we need to go back, not to Wall Street, not to Hollywood, but to Malaysia. Born into a wealthy Malaysian family, Low Taik Jho, better known as Jho Low, had one obsession: influence. While most kids his age were dreaming about cars or fame, Jho was studying the game of power. At 17, he was already attending elite schools in London. By 20, he was at Wharton, rubbing shoulders with the children of billionaires, sheikhs, and princes. To them, Jho Low wasn't just a student. He was a connector, a man who could open doors to unimaginable wealth. But Jho wasn't just networking. He was recruiting. In 2009, when Malaysia launched a sovereign wealth fund called 1MDB, meant to help develop the country's economy, Jho saw his golden ticket. He wasn't officially part of the government. He held no position. But quietly, behind the scenes, he became the puppet master, whispering into the ears of politicians, bankers, and billionaires. He convinced then Prime Minister Najib Razak that 1MDB could make Malaysia rich beyond imagination. Billions were raised through international loans, supposedly for public development projects. But what really happened was one of the most sophisticated financial crimes in modern history. Through a web of offshore accounts, fake companies and shell entities, Jho Low siphoned off more than $4.5 billion. Money meant for the people of Malaysia ended up funding his fantasy world. He bought luxury apartments in New York, penthouses in London, a $250 million super yacht named Equanimity, and even financed The Wolf of Wall Street. Yes, the movie about another con man. It was almost poetic, Jho Low funding a film about greed and deception, using stolen money from one of the biggest heists ever. He became a legend among celebrities. He partied with Leonardo DiCaprio, gifted jewelry to Miranda Kerr, and hosted New Year's Eve parties with Paris Hilton, where champagne literally rained from the ceiling. But while the world saw a billionaire playboy, investigators saw something else: a trail of stolen money leading back to Malaysia's most powerful people. By 2015, the truth started to unravel. The US Department of Justice called it the largest kleptocracy case in history. Malaysians were furious. Billions had vanished. Their Prime Minister, Najib Razak, was implicated. And Jho Low, he vanished, like a ghost. Private jets left traces of him hopping between Bangkok, Macau, and Shanghai. Interpol issued a red notice. The FBI wanted him, but no one could catch him. Because every time investigators got close, he slipped away, protected by invisible hands. Now here's where the story takes a dark turn. Because this isn't just about stolen money. It's about why he's still free and who is protecting him. You see, during the 1MDB years, Malaysia was negotiating huge infrastructure deals with China. Ports, railways, pipelines. And when Jho Low's empire began to collapse, he allegedly turned to Beijing for help. According to leaked reports, Chinese officials proposed a secret deal. They would use their influence to help manage the 1MDB fallout. In return, Malaysia would grant lucrative projects to Chinese state companies, strengthening Beijing's grip in Southeast Asia. In simple terms, Jho Low became a political pawn, a bargaining chip in a geopolitical game between Malaysia and China. Today, US and Malaysian authorities believe Jho Low is hiding in China, under the protection of powerful allies who view him as too valuable to give up. He reportedly lives between Macau and mainland China, moving quietly under heavy security. No extradition, no photos, no traces. China denies it, but the pattern is clear. Whenever Malaysia requests his return, silence follows. And every so often, whispers emerge of Jho Low being seen in luxury hotels or traveling under a new identity. He's not just hiding, he's protected. And here's the twist that will blow your mind. Remember how Jho Low once claimed 1 MDB was meant to help the Malaysian people? What if, in his own twisted way, it did? Because after the scandal, Malaysia saw an unprecedented wave of political reform. Najib Razak, once untouchable, was voted out, investigated, and eventually convicted. New anti-corruption laws were introduced. It's almost ironic. The thief who stole billions may have unintentionally triggered the cleansing of an entire political system. But for Jho Low, justice is still a step behind. Every government from Malaysia to the US is chasing him, yet he remains untouchable. A ghost protected by power, politics, and secrets worth far more than gold. The real question isn't where he is, it's what he knows. Because somewhere in the shadows of Beijing, there's a man who knows exactly how the world's financial system can be bought, twisted, and controlled. And until that knowledge dies with him, he will never be caught. So next time you hear about billionaires and political scandals, remember this: some men don't just steal money, they steal truth. And Jho Low? He didn't just rob Malaysia. He robbed the world of its illusion that power and justice are ever truly separate. This was the forbidden story of the billion-dollar ghost. If you like this story, don't forget to like and subscribe for more forbidden stories. Watch our next story below.